Thanks for tuning into another episode of She Laughs, a podcast dedicated to bringing you honest and transparent viewpoints in this daily faith journey. Now join with me as we listen to T and Kristal discuss the latest.
Hey everyone, it's your girl Kristal.
Hey everybody, it's Tanisha.
Welcome to another episode of She Laughs.
Welcome.
So guys, we as always going to jump into this topic because it's a big one these days.
By the time you guys are hearing this, you know what, it may not have died down by then. Who knows? Probably not. I would love if it had. Well, I would love if it had died down some by the time you guys hear this. I would appreciate it, but who knows? So what are we talking about, Kristal?
Jesus is King.
Yeah,
Kanye West,
specifically his new album entitled Jesus is King, and the new transformation that he is embarking on in a public way.
Yes.
So, yeah. This is our 2 cents. Let me just put that disclaimer out there.
Yes.
This is our opinion, the opinion of She Laughs Podcast, and She Laughs Podcast alone. Now, if you agree, fine. If you don't, that's fine too.
Yeah.
But disclaimer, this our opinion.
Okay. So, my opinion, I actually love the album. Those of you who follow me on social media will probably see I am a big hip hop lover, and I listen to a lot of hip hop artists that happen to be Christian. And I say it that way because they hate being called Christian rappers, and stuff. They are hip hop artists first, and they talk about their faith walk. So you'll see me like people like Andy Mineo, Lecrae, Trip Lee, Tekashi. Not Tekashi. Tadashi.
I was going to say Tekashi. No.
Jesus.
Not Tekashi.
Lord,
incorrect. Correct that one more again. Who are you talking about?
So we're talking about Tadashi.
Okay.
All right. And others. There's so many. Jay Givens, words play, propaganda is a big one. So these artists are people that I genuinely follow, and I love it. So hearing that Kanye West was coming out with his album Jesus is King, I definitely was looking forward to it. I have followed his Sunday services. There's been a lot of scandal around his Sunday services of people not wanting or enjoying that because they looked at it as church. I, for one, didn't take it as that.
Yeah.
I took it as the same way I would going to see a gospel program or a night of worship and praise. And everything.
I looked at it as just a moment of praise and worship. Yeah. You can have evenings of just praise and worship as your church. I would, and I would encourage you to try to have those at your church where it's just a night of giving God praise and worship. That's really it. No, there is no necessary sermon preached or anything. Mm-hmm. And that's another whole religious tradition that most people assume that when you have church, there has to be a message. The message can be praise and worship.
Yes, again.
So, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. Go ahead, Kristal.
So, for me, I definitely was looking forward to this album. When I heard it, I already expected it not to be the traditional Kanye West. He is embarking on in a totally new genre. Artistically wise, I did expect it to be really where it was at. But I also knew that his rhythm and his flow definitely were going to need to. So just on my personal take as a hip hop lover, as a lover of people who definitely have already been doing this type of music for a while and stuff, I loved it. I love that he is at this point in his relationship where he is able to publicly say, this is who I serve, and this is how I am going to serve him.
Yeah.
I think it is a beautiful display of that, of seeing someone coming into the faith, blossoming and trying to find their way.
Yeah.
and their voice
True.
in their walk with Christ. So that's my first take on it. T, what was yours?
I am not as big of a hip hop fan as Kristal is. That doesn't mean I don't like it. I'm just not a huge fan of the genre. I was never a huge Kanye fan either, though that does not mean I didn't like his music. I just really wasn't a huge fan. You weren't going to catch me buying an album.
So you wasn't out there getting in dark, twisted fantasy?
No.
Child, I was. Anyway.
No. No. So, I wasn't sure how to take his album before I heard it. Mm-hmm. The whole Sunday services that he was doing, I was a bit skeptical because all of this was coming off of the back of his political views towards President Trump and everything else, and his mental health. And I wasn't sure if it was a ploy, because, let's be honest, Kanye has done that
several
times. And so I wasn't sure where he was going with it. I had never heard a full Sunday service. You only hear little clips of people that have recorded it. So my concern was the theology behind what he was doing at these services, and how much Bible was being spoken or sung or talked about. That was my concern, because you had so many people going, some going because they just wanted to hear, and some because they were truly searching for something. I wanted to make sure that their hearts were being taken care of. So when I finally heard the Jesus is King album, as a body of work from Kanye, I didn't think it was great. Just based off of things I've heard from him, as a body of work by itself, it was awesome. As someone who was clearly and is clearly doing what the Bible says, walking out or searching out their own soul salvation, because that's what you're supposed to do.
Yes, Lord.
That was evident as what he was doing.
Yes, it was.
He was telling you the changes he was making in his life. I mean, there is so much theology in that album. I think it made those who, number one, aren't Christian uncomfortable, and those who say they're Christian but do not have fruit of the Christianity, it made y'all uncomfortable as well, because it gave you a lot of conviction. That was the problem. So as a album from someone who is becoming Christian, it was great. Do I think he can improve? Absolutely. Yeah. I'm excited to see where he goes as he continues on this faith walk with God, and the abilities that start to come out, because he already has such great gifting, but when he finally submits it over to God, what will God do with it? How much more great it will be, because he finally has really surrendered the God-given gift, because that's what it was, over to serve God, giving it its true purpose. So I liked it in that aspect. And I think most Christians should. My problem is most don't. Yeah. So majority of my opinion is really aimed towards Christians who have an issue with Kanye, because we got to have a come to Jesus meeting.
Yep, come on.
Right now is what we're gonna have.
Come to the table. Come to
please,
the altar.
Come to the altar. Come up front. You Christians that have an issue with Kanye. Because, first off, when you find Christ, you are excited. You are very zealous.
Yes.
In your new faith walk. So you can sometimes go overboard because you are a baby Christian. You're just really learning. And those of you that disagree, I really would want to ask you, take a look back, and when you accepted Christ, did you really accept him? Or did you do what your mama told you to do?
Yeah.
Which was go to the altar. Just being honest. So that's what we're seeing right now. someone who is new and they're walking Christ and is learning and is very excited. This is not a surprise because Kanye is that very
when he's excited, he's always been excited.
He's always been very excited. That's not
And
the word I'm
vocal.
trying to say, but yes, very excited, very vocal, very eccentric. He's
Yes.
always been like that
In your
about
face.
anything. So why would he be any different on this faith walk with Christ? Why? I'm almost wondering, is your problem that he's so vocal about Jesus, or is it just him?
I think it's just him.
Is it though? I
Yeah.
really think it's a lot about because he's being
Well,
vocal about Jesus.
For Christians, I think it's about him. For non-Christians, I think that it is definitely that he's so vocal about Jesus Christ.
And I wish you'd stop talking about Jesus is what their
Yes.
problem is.
Because I found on my timeline some of the friends that I follow, they were like, this is automatically trash on this album. And I was like, I actually understand the viewpoint you're coming from because you don't like the subject matter.
Yeah.
This is not the type of music that you listen to. These are my friends who, when I say Andy Mineo, they be like, who? And I'm like, yeah, you don't know that genre of music.
Right.
So you wouldn't like it. I was more shocked, especially with those who are non-Christians. Did you not see this coming?
No, they did not.
Did
see it
everything. I'm like,
coming.
he's been doing Sunday services now almost a year and a
I really
half.
still, but I didn't expect him to do a Christian album. I really didn't.
I actually did.
I didn't.
I
I
was-
didn't know if he would have really had the guts to do it. I guess I see now. Yeah, that was kind of crazy to be surprised that he would, but I really was. I didn't think he would do it.
I actually was not surprised for two or three reasons. Kanye has always, like you said, been very over the top, kind of in your face and vocal. When I saw the Sunday services, I was like, he is testing the waters.
Mm-hmm.
That's immediately what I thought. He is testing, not only is he finding his own faith, and this is another creative outlet that we haven't really seen happen before with hip hop artists, but he is testing the waters for something. Kanye does not necessarily do anything as eccentric as he is. He doesn't do things just to do them.
Yeah, there's a strategy and a
Yes,
and a
there's-
plane behind
there's
it.
an
Absolutely.
end result. Also, I'm a big fan of his song from way back in the day, Jesus Walks.
Yeah.
So for him to finally devote a full album to that, now that I will say is my letdown with this album, because I was expecting something more along Jesus Walks.
Yeah.
And when I got, I was like, okay, I see where you're going with this. And once you find your own rhythm and
Yes.
flow dealing with this subject matter, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I was disappointed with a lot of Christians. More so because I saw a split down the middle. You saw some that, like me, definitely supported him
Yeah.
in his faith walk, his
Yeah.
journey, and was so excited to see someone who you can tell
You can tell that he really, I mean,
he has some issues. He has some
he
mental-
really has and still does.
Yes.
But to see him so on fire for Christ was it's palpable.
Yes.
Like you could feel it.
Yes.
His excitement for God and wanting to do what he feels in his heart is the Christian thing
Yep.
to do. But I don't like the judgment.
Yes. That's
I do not like the judgment from Christians. I don't understand. Do you read your Bible, Christian, who is judging? Again, work out your own soul salvation. That is what he's doing. The difference is he's in the limelight.
Yes.
So we actually get to see him walk it out. Because you gonna get to walk yours out behind closed doors.
Mhm.
Right? And then, does it seem overzealous? Yes, because it is. Because he is new.
He's a baby.
The Bible talks about every season has its time. So there's a time for planting, there's a time for harvest. Right now, he is planting.
Yes.
Y'all want him to start making harvest decisions and harvest moves. He knew
Yes.
He's new to this.
Yes.
He's brand spanking new to this.
I'll tell you another thing for a lot of Christians, because some of them I see, they're like, this isn't for real. He's just using it as a gimmick. First of all, you don't understand or know this man's heart.
Yes.
You don't know him personally. You don't know the ins and out of what goes on in his day to day. So that judgment in your tone, get rid of it. That's the first thing. Secondly, it makes me wonder, because immediately what I saw when I saw all of this bashing, I immediately thought of Saul.
Exactly.
I wonder how many Christians and followers of Jesus Christ back then, when they found out about Saul converting over to Christianity, wondered, is he doing this for real?
There were some that did wonder that.
Yes.
They 100%. They brought these concerns to the disciples.
Yes. Is he for real?
Especially Peter.
Or is he trying to infiltrate?
Yes. They 100% were concerned.
But
and they had valid concerns. Y'all don't.
Thank you.
Saul was going around murdering Christians on the spot. Did not bat an eyelash. So they had genuine concern to be worried about, oh, now I'm saying I follow Christ.
Yet
y'all don't.
Kanye has brought hundreds with just this album and his, his brunch service?
Yeah.
Shortly after it, of hundreds upon thousands of people have already wanted to get a Bible and know more about who this Jesus is King, just because he used his platform and on one album.
Is that not the purpose?
So
the purpose is it not to spread the gospel?
And
are you all upset because people actually want to know the God you, sir, ma'am, say that you follow? Mm-hmm. Because they should be wanting to know him also based off of how you live your life.
Thank you.
If you work with people or you are friends with people who have no idea that you are a Christian, there's a problem.
And I'll play devil's advocate. Let's just say Kanye is using this as a gimmick. God literally says, "I will use all things."
Yes.
For my glory.
Yes.
So you may see people do something that have an ill intention.
Yes.
But God literally said, okay, even if
I can use the foolish to confound the wise.
Thank you. That he literally does that.
He has the ability to do that.
I mean, if this is not a blatant show, and what I have been so in awe of in this year of God moving is that Kanye is not the only person that is a well-known, famous figure this year to publicly announce that they're giving their life over to Christ.
There have been quite a few. Lamar Odom.
Yes.
Justin Bieber.
Yes.
There's one more, and I can see their name, God, and it's not.
But they are elite people that we see in the news all the time that you have seen publicly hurting.
Yes.
These people, you've seen them publicly hurting.
Absolutely.
They have made some big mess ups for the whole world to see. And I'm like, God, is that not for your glory that you're like, everyone has seen you mess up publicly.
Yeah.
And now watch everyone see me work in your life and turn it around for my glory.
But why would they want to know God the way y'all are acting? As Jesus. If, again, you found... Some of y'all act like you didn't even find God in a dark place. Like you have always been good and on the straight and narrow path. And because you were on the straight and narrow path already, the Lord said, hey, should I follow you? That's not how that worked.
And I love how Pastor Mike Todd said at Kanye's service, he was like, here, God wants you to come. And you don't even have to be good.
No. To
be accepted by him.
It is not a requirement. It is not a prerequisite.
And everything. Now, here's the thing. He will get you to the place that you need to be. But he does not require you to be come that already. Way. He literally says, come as you are. That doesn't mean just come broken. That means come confused, come angry, come upset, come just unsure, come any type of way. I just want you to come acknowledge me.
Yes.
And we'll take it from here.
Get to know me, and I'll take it from here. I will show you where to go. because I can do the changing.
So
I do the changing in you. Don't worry about it. I'm not worried about you fixing anything, because we'll try to do it all at once. And God's like, all at once is not required. We can do this step by step by step.
that's it.
Step by step by step.
So
It is not required everything be done all at once. And even the step by step is not all done within a month's time. It could be years.
yes.
It can be years
Yes.
before he works on the next issue. All he wants from you is cooperation, obedience, and to let him in.
That's it.
And he can do the rest. But this bashing towards someone who is finding Christ and working out their soul salvation and eager to do the things Christ is asking him to do makes no sense.
No.
You can't know Jesus the way you're acting.
No.
Again, this is for Christians. If you're not a Christian, I get it.
Yeah. I get why you didn't.
I get why you feel it however you feel. But specifically, if you are a Christian, I am confused.
Yeah.
And
Super
I want to know, who is it you say you follow? Because it can't be Christ.
And who is it you think you leading to him?
You aren't leading anybody to him
So
with the amount of judgment you have towards him.
get that together. And while you're at it, stay off my pastor Mike Todd, please. Calling him a bandwagoner.
You're calling every pastor who has had him at their church for his Sunday services a bandwagon person. I'm not confused. I'm not concerned with the pastors who have invited him to their churches to host these services. My concern is the pastor or people and staff of that house ready to receive the hurt who are coming?
Yes.
Can you receive the people who will come to that altar to try to accept Christ? Are you willing to shepherd and steward those people? That's what my concern is. Not, you jumping on the Kanye bandwagon. I don't care nothing about that.
No.
Because at the end of the day, it's not the Kanye bandwagon. It's a Christ bandwagon.
Thank you. Woo, you said a word
That's the
then.
bandwagon
Let's
we're jumping
fix
on.
That mindset, shall we?
Not a Kanye bandwagon. Okay? It's a Christ bandwagon, which is the one you should want to be on. And you should want everybody on it. This is not an elitist group.
Start worrying about the message and stop worrying about the messenger.
That's very true. The messenger is of no importance.
Who cares? It came through Kanye because Kanye was willing.
Thank you. Are you willing?
Are you? So that's the
and
biggest
if
thing.
you are willing and you're still upset, that means you are more concerned with a title and a position than the person that you're supposed to be serving. Because at the end of the day, you're supposed to be a servant.
Period.
A servant serving. So not like the album because it's not Kanye's greatest work. Fine. But to say you don't like it because of the rhetoric he's speaking, because he wants to change, because he has the idea and the thought to do this again and to change his entire lifestyle, and no, I don't want to curse.
Yeah.
You're upset because he doesn't want to curse? I don't understand.
Yeah.
And to you, in your mind, you're thinking it shouldn't take all that to follow Christ. All what? Wanting to change? Wanting to be better? Wanting to do good? Or wanting to do what Christ is wishing you to do?
You don't know his personal convictions.
That, again, lets me know what type of Christian you are. Do you follow Christ? Or do you expect Christ to follow you? Because you want to keep all your personality. Well, that's just how I am.
And y'all got to get used to it.
You don't get to be who you are and get the things he wants to give you.
Nope.
It requires some level of sacrifice. It requires some level of dying daily to your flesh.
Gotta level up. Period.
That's the problem you all have.
It requires a level of spiritual maturity.
You are convicted because you don't want to change. And you want him to feel uncomfortable because he's willing to.
Yeah.
You won't die to your flesh so nobody else is supposed to.
Sir or ma'am.
You won't change your thinking habits so no one else should. You won't change your circle of friends so no one else should.
Yeah.
Y'all have a serious complex.
And it needs to be adjusted.
It needs to be adjusted
time
quickly.
is short and it's running out.
Quickly. Because you will not advance that way. I'm sorry. You think you will? It will come to a screeching halt. He will stop every amount of blessing.
Yes, he will.
You will not advance with that mindset. So instead of bashing him, intercede on his behalf.
Yes.
I am really calling all the intercessors. If you know you are an intercessor, you need to add him to your prayer list.
Yes. Yes.
Because the amount of lives he can reach.
Yes.
The amount of people who just want to look up a scripture.
Yes.
Come on. You cannot be ignorant to that. That is the whole purpose. God says, go out and make disciples.
And he is about his Father's business.
That's what we're supposed to be doing.
So,
Not moving up in your career. Not buying a fancy house. Not buying a fancy car. You were supposed to be making disciples. That's it.
Yeah.
Everything else is just for your pure entertainment. Bottom line.
Period. So
If you are judging him and you are a Christian, you need to reevaluate your life and get it together. And if you do really think he is using this as a marketing ploy, still pray for him that he will change his mind instead of standing back there wishing this is really what he's doing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Because you cannot chastise if you have no love first.
Ooh.
God will not allow it. That's not judging righteously. Righteousness have love in it. You just judging. Period. Get right and do better, saints. Because you're looking like an ain't.
Child. She is on it today. Y'all better get it together.
It just makes no sense.
I completely agree. So I ain't got to say nothing else because T has said it and I said it. Everything that I needed to say earlier. Like, we've got to do better. We've got to constantly lift him up in prayer because there are going to be a lot of, especially if he is for real about this, there's going to be a lot of enemies that are going to come up against him.
And he needs as much power backing him as possible.
Yes, he does not need extra from the Christian world to tell him, well, you can't do this. He needs as much support.
That's all support.
For what his level of assignment is going to be, especially in the industry that he is in.
Yes.
So you have no idea the things that go on in that side of that industry that he is going to have to come up against, and the amount of strength that it takes to completely change his mind, his attitude, his family structure.
And to do so publicly.
Yes.
Shall we not even go into the family structure, please?
Child.
We're not with the mindset of some of these women. Well, he can't tell his wife what to do. You a lie.
That's his job. So, he needs for real prayer to have support to withstand the level of assignment that is about to come, or has already arrived, as he goes through this walk, because the enemy will also attack as well. And sometimes the enemy attacks through the church. So fix your face. Fix your face, fix your mindset, fix your tone, fix the way you place your mouth on another child of God.
Yep.
So, with that being said, T, what's your final thoughts?
Just get it together. Either intercede on his behalf or just be quiet all the way.
All right. Until then, guys, where can they find you, T?
It is Facebook, Tanisha Williams. Instagram is Styles by Tanisha J.
And as always, guys, you can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Charmaine Kears. Also, the blog is finally back up and running.
Yes, Charmaine'sConfessions.com.
Yes. Every Friday, we'll be coming to you with a nice article. And as always, the podcast is coming out every Wednesday. So stay tuned until next time. Be blessed.
See you guys.
See ya.
Thanks again for listening. As always, we hope that you were blessed by today's discussion. To keep up with the latest on the She Laughs podcast, be sure to subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, and Spreaker. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at She Laughs Podcast. If you would like to donate to this ministry, please feel free to send all donations to paypal.me/She Laughs. And don't forget to send us your questions. As always, we love to hear from you. Until next time, stay blessed.